morning. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Tuesday, the 15th of March. Aung San Suu Kyi, confidante, Htin Kyaw elected Myanmar's new president. Bangladesh Bank governor submits resignation over $80 million cyber heist. And Afghanistan collaborates with Germany for rehabilitation of repatriated Afghan refugees. And now for all the details. Preparations are on full swing for the 37th Foreign Ministry level meeting of South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, or SAARC. The meeting, which begins on Thursday, will review the progress made by the regional group over the past year and set direction for the next year. Curbing terrorism, cooperation among the member states, connectivity, creating SAARC Energy Hub, SAARC Youth Charter, poverty alleviation, trade are among dozens of agendas for meetings of SAARC Council of Ministers. The meeting will set the date for the next SAARC summit and selection of a new Secretary General for SAARC. Moving on, Afghanistan and Germany will collaborate to assist and provide better livelihood to Afghan refugees who have returned from Germany to the war-torn nation.
Afghanistan and Germany have come together to provide job opportunities and accommodation to repatriated Afghan refugees from the European nation. This agreement is to provide services to those who have returned to Afghanistan, those who have been refused asylum, and those who already had residency but opted to return to Afghanistan, said a Minister of Refugees and Repatriation, Syed Hussain Alami Balkhi. Since February, hundreds of Afghans have voluntarily returned to the war-ravaged country from Germany through flight services coordinated between the governments of the two nations and the International Organization for Migration. However, scores of these people are yet to get employment and housing facilities. Afghans make up a major portion of the hundreds of thousands of refugees who have been pouring into Europe to escape the violence and economic malaise that continue to grip their countries. The European nations, including Germany, have been struggling to find ways to accommodate the arrivals.
The remote mountainous region of Gilgit-Baltistan remains cut off from the rest of the world in absence of proper connectivity. While the rest of the world has been a witness to tremendous infrastructural growth, people in this region still cross teams with the help of ropes and makeshift boats in absence of the bridges.
Life has become a daily struggle for people in Gilgit-Baltistan, where infrastructural growth is negligible. Locals have to negotiate through difficult terrain, risking their life and limbs to go about their daily life. In absence of bridges, they cross streams with the help of ropes or wire bridges that may snap at any moment. And if fortunate enough, one can manage a makeshift boat built from inflatable rubber tubes.
आज भी बदकिस्मती ये है कि गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के बहुत सारे इलाके ऐसे हैं जहाँ पे लोग आज के इस जदीद दौर में जहाँ पे सड़कें बन रही है, कंक्रीट के ब्रिजेस बन रहे हैं, वहाँ पे पुल ना होने की वजह से एक आबादी जो है दूसरी आबादी की तरफ जब सफ़र करते हैं, एक आबादी के लोग मेन सड़क की तरफ जब सफ़र कर रहे हैं तो इसी ख़तरनाक जाले के ऊपर से सफ़र कर रहे हैं। कई हादसात रिपोर्ट हुए हैं माजी में इन इलाकों के अंदर, कई मरतबा जो है इंसानी जानें जो है वो इस जाले की वजह से ज़ाया हो गई है।
The situation becomes even worse when the ice on the mountains starts melting that raises water level in the rivers. Locals are then forced to take longer routes.
पुल नहीं होने की वजह से जो जाला सिस्टम है इसको इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं। इसकी वजह यह है कि जहाँ को लिंक करने की कोई पुल नहीं है। गवर्नमेंट को चाहे कि इनको पुल दिया जाए। ये खतरनाक सिस्टम है, इसके इस्तेमाल से इससे पहले भी कई हादसे मुतवक्का हुई है।
Rampant corruption has stalled development in Gilgit-Baltistan over the years, while the often repeated excuse given by the local government is lack of funds. A part of the erstwhile princely state of Jammu and Kashmir, Gilgit-Baltistan has been under the illegal rule of Pakistan for over 6 decades now.
Labour rights activists have expressed serious concern over bonded labour in Pakistan involving many small children. Although forced labour is illegal in the country, but an estimated 2 million people are employed as bonded labourers in Pakistan's brick-making kilns.
Thousands of children work as bonded labourers in Pakistan's brick kilns. They are frequently held in bondage, forced to work, do not go to schools and enjoy no rights. According to statistics of the International Labour Organization, around 2 million men, women and children are employed as bonded labourers in these brick-making kilns. In January this year, the Punjab government had announced free education and about $10 for children per month. Their parents would also be given $19 per year. But rights activists say no mechanism had been put in place to ensure that it was actually being practiced.
वो मिलती नहीं है उन मज़दूरों को, इसलिए वो अपने बच्चों को शामिल रखते हैं, उनको कोई एजुकेशन सेंटर में नहीं दाखिल करवाते, ताकि वो बच्चे अगर स्कूल में चले जाएंगे तो उनको तो 7-8 घंटे ज़ाया हो जाएंगे उनके नज़दीक.
Bonded labourers are forced to work for the brick kiln owners who once lent them small amount of money. Their failure to repay the loan forces them to mortgage their services or the services of their children to the kiln owners for a specified or unspecified period with or without wages.
करिए जे फिर अपने मुश्किल है जे बच्चा नु लाने फिर बच्चा नु फकड़ देने साढ़े बच्चा नु फिर खर्चा देन पढ़ाई दा भी खर्चा देन उन्हां दी वर्दियां भी देन और उन्हां नु सब कुछ करन अई फिर दिंदे नहीं.
Women kiln workers who are keen on educating their children recently took to the streets of Lahore demanding the immediate implementation of the law announced by Punjab government. Over 20,000 brick kilns operate in Pakistan, supported by millions of bonded workers, which legal rights activists say is an extreme close cousin of slavery.
Moving on to news from Myanmar, National League for Democracy leader Htin Kyaw has been elected as the new president of the country. His selection formally brings to an end the decades of military rule in the country. Htin Kyaw will take charge from the 1st of April.
Myanmar's lawmakers on Tuesday elected Htin Kyaw as the country's new president, making him the first head of the state since the 1960s with no military background. Kyaw received 360 votes of the 652, making the two runners-up military nominee Min Sway and ethnic minority Chin candidate Henry Van Theo first and second vice presidents respectively.
Htin Kyawကိုနိုင်ငံတော်သမ္မတဖြစ်ရွေးချယ်တင်မြှောက်ကြောင်းကြေညာပါတယ်
Kyaw is a close advisor and confidant of Nobel laureate Aung San Suu Kyi, whose National League for Democracy party swept to victory in historic elections last November. Aung San Suu Kyi is barred from the presidency under the army-drafted constitution, which excludes anyone with a foreign spouse or children to become the head of the state. Suu Kyi's late husband was a British and her children possess British passport. But despite a constitutional ban, the democracy leader had said she would run the country above the president.
Bangladesh's central bank governor Atiur Rahman resigned on Tuesday after tension escalated over the $81 million theft from the bank's account at the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Calling the cyber heist as bad as a terrorist attack, Rahman took moral responsibility of the case.
The $81 million theft, believed to be the world's biggest ever bank pilfering, cost the central bank governor his job. Atiur Rahman said on Tuesday that his resignation had been accepted by Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina.
I thought to protect the image of the bank, I resigned voluntarily to take a much higher moral ground. Not many examples are there in the country, to really take the responsibility morally and then resign.
The move comes 2 days after Finance Minister Abul Mal Abdul Muhith called Bangladesh Bank's handling of the cyber theft very incompetent. Rahman was due to retire in August when he turned 65 after serving the bank for 7 years. Investigators say unknown hackers installed a malware in the bank's computer systems before swiping the amount in February. The malware was used to steal information, following which a total of 35 transfer orders to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York were made, where the Bangladesh bank had an account. A spelling mistake in the online bank transfer instruction prevented the hackers from pilfering nearly $1 billion. But the hackers managed to get away with about $80 million. Authorities from Bangladesh to Sri Lanka to the Philippines are on the alert, where much of the stolen money ended up.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Aung San Suu Kyi, confidante Htin Kyaw elected Myanmar's new president. Bangladesh bank governor submits resignation over 81 million cyber heist. And Afghanistan collaborates with Germany for rehabilitation of repatriated Afghan refugees. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.